into the game here. Can you believe him, Mike? I don't want to let the secret slip, but we are seeing everyone's favorite Peely boy.
Yeah. Oh, there's the leper comp. Crazy stuff. It's like looks like a stress leper comp, no less.
Exactly, Mike. Not just any leper comp here. Stickyblad really knocking out of the park here with an intimidate leper stress build.
Oh, that's insane. Guys, this is madness.
No Arbalest here from Androfago as well, so he won't be able to reliably do an AoE clear of debuffs here. We'll only have that Crusader's heal to really get him get that debuff off. Not that effective, not that efficient either. What do you think about this early defensive play from Stickyblad?
Sorry, I'm trying to set up the music here, so can you take off the cast for a second?
Okay. So very early defensive play here from Stickyblad, choosing to drop down that 20% prot buff across the board, Bulwark of Light. Obviously, that is going to persist through the entire game, so he really does want to keep that applied very early. From Androfago here, taking some time, he's going to duelist advance there on the Crusader. A good idea, getting down a post up very, very early. But Stickyblad here does not have many AoE abilities here, can choose just to not hit the Highwayman.
I mean, the Hue, I guess, and the Zealous Accusation, which you might want to be using there, may be the reason why he's doing this. So, you know, it kind of reposes both really core abilities that frontliners of Stickyblad are using. And also, you have the Jester in this composition, right? So this might be kind of a big issue kind of later down the line as the match progresses and the Jester kind of slides forward for that finale. So every single repose might indeed be like a potential killing blow later on down the line. And you really don't want to lose the Jester too early, right? This is kind of a smart move, really.
Great budge, though.
Yeah, but honestly, this is kind of a risky one as well, because you can imagine this Highwayman critting the point blank now, and the Jester just getting a free finale next turn, which does look quite frightening, honestly.
You do have to admit that Stickyblad has given Androfago a lot of ammunition here. That Holy Lance is a very, very powerful ability. If that crit there could have been doing an awful lot of damage, but still here, almost halving this Grave Robber. It's 16 here. That dodge, brutal. That's a 15% dodge there. Doesn't get it.
Yeah, that doesn't look too great for... it doesn't look too great for Stickyblad, honestly, from the very beginning here. He's getting controlled quite heavily. I'm not sure that, what the role of this composition is overall either. So, you know, we have a lot of stress here. We have this kind of solid staple damage dealer in the form of the Leper. But quite frankly, giving this Androfago's composition backline access with this Crusader being pushed back feels like a very big mistake, honestly, because this might just be finale turn 2 at this point. Or maybe not turn 2, but turn 3 for sure. Like, this Grave Robber doesn't seem to be long for this world, and from there I don't really see any way for Stickyblad to win if he does lose this super important damage dealer so early on.
I mean, Androfago here has got a gluttony of options. He goes for a Harvest here, but the high bleed resist on the Crusader.
Yeah. And the MAA as well. Both resisted, so basically a move just gets completely removed here. With Standoff, this is kind of peculiar. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, Stickyblad here has...
It's a stress leper.
Very, very slowly. It is a stress leper with that Intimidate there. I think the point of this team is that he has and that's a Death's Door there.
Yeah.
Very, very, very risky. Even an Illumination here, something like that from the Vestal could try to pop it.
Yeah, he
is in rank 4 outside of that Dirk Stab range, so I'm not entirely sure there was much...
No, you can't actually hit this at all, unless the Crusader gets moved back again. Obviously, though, the finale is still a big threat, so probably something that Androfago is kind of... that Stickyblad is kind of afraid of. I would really be afraid of the Jester right now, because if you... obviously,
Mike,
the guard does...
That's the first bit of stress they've taken. Look at that. That's the first bit of stress he's taken.
Yeah, it's 10-2, right? Usually, by the end of 10-2, you're about, 50% of the first stress bar across the board, really, against a heavy AoE comp, which is not the case here at all. A stun comes down on the MAA as well. This is not looking too hot for Stickyblad, guys.
I mean, Stickyblad has just been brutalized this game, it would appear. Choosing now to heal, get the Grave Robber out of Death's Door just for a turn. But still, if he's playing this defensively, what chances he has of taking this game? He's against the Jester and this really heavy control duo, the Control Core, of the Stun Crusader, Stun Vestal.
I mean, he can control the Jester almost indefinitely, you have to believe, unless the Jester does get a dodge off, right? So That's kind of okay, because every single time this Jester slides in, Stickyblad does indeed start every turn, so you can always just try to stun this, maybe get some footing in this game. Also, you can also always stealth the Grave Robber if you want to, so this kind of prevents that finale from coming through altogether. Although we actually can see this bleed from the Jester's Harvest come through and do a significant amount of damage to
what, Mike?
Stickyblad.
I don't like that. I think the point of Stickyblad's team here, a few of the Intimidate in particular, reduces damage done by a considerable portion. So to have that being thrown on the Vestal here is just a stun, but I don't think it's going to do it for you. I think he's trying to make at least one of them act out.
Yeah.
Try and perhaps leverage a pass on a stun turn into some kind of tempo advantage. But it's not doing it quite yet.
It's so slow.
Here. Yeah. I wanted to see Stickyblad maybe even throwing that on the Crusader. If you want to be very risky about it, you did use Withstand on your left. You could even try and throw it on the Riposte Highwayman.
We have so many better options than the Stress Leper, I think, that it just doesn't seem to be doing the job here. So, because you can just use an Occultist to do single target stress. It does it so much more efficiently, even if you just go full tank Occultist. Seriously, I just don't see a reason to be using a Stress Leper when you have so many other very reliable single target stress sources.
I'll tell you why, Mike. It is because Leper is one of these incredibly tanky stress dealers. And Stickyblad's team across the board here, you hate to see that double stun.
Double stun is bad.
He's now taken the reins of this game. He can do whatever he wants. He can even try and throw a stun on that Leper. He might get it. You see, this is really the issue against the Crusader in general.
Yeah.
Such incredible tech. He can start throwing out those inspiring cries, those stress heals onto the Vestal. Not only that, they will stack up the Virtue chance by 15% at a time. So he might, the Vestal there, might just Virtue, Mike.
It's crazy, honestly. I mean, you have to wonder, like, what if this, if Stickyblad is able to keep the Grave Robber alive for the duration of the fight, what exactly does Androfago do to the composition of Stickyblad? Because he will eventually just get stressed to death, I think. So maybe, just maybe, if Stickyblad is able to drag this game out, he will probably persevere, right? Because, this stress will be just mounting and mounting and mounting. The way to remove that debuff from the MA is also going to be kind of not that reliable, because you have to waste your Crusader's stand to do this, so you're effectively wasting a turn anyway. So you kind of give a lot of control to Stickyblad, because he can just start stunning you or dropping those accusations then, which obviously isn't the greatest feeling in the world for a damage dealer or a damage player overall. So perhaps it isn't such a terrible spot for Stickyblad overall. He hasn't taken that much damage yet. Though
that being said, Mike, you need to understand he's faced up against a Jester, and all it takes from Androfago is a Vestal stun in the Crusader, maybe throwing the Crusader stun onto the Leopard just for kicks, push that Jester forward, and by turn 5, turn 6, that'll be maxed out. We're talking 240% extra damage.
Yeah.
That could knock out a Crusader from half health easily.
No, absolutely. Seriously, he hasn't done as much stress as one would have hoped for. I feel like even a Houndmaster would have done a way better job than this Grave Robber here, because if you're trying to play this kind of slower game with a lot of tankiness available, maybe even Antiquarian would have done better, because you can, get those heals off them.
I appreciate this pivot, Mike. I appreciate that pivot. Swap it did resist. Resisting that is very, very painful, though.
Yeah, it is, but... So I feel like there are so many better options than the Grave Robber, unless you're playing this kind of DOT twist on your team, like, which obviously Stickyblad isn't doing here. He has like a lot of those direct stress characters, like the Crusader, like the Leper, like the MAA, but he's really not using that much damage. So like there is no real threat coming from this Grave Robber, spamming the Blights. However, the Jester of Androfago has actually been able to land like 12 stacks of bleed on this Crusader and 8 stacks on the MAA. So it's not really looking too hot for Stickyblad.
It's not every day you see a Crusader with 12 bleed ticking down on him, is it, Mike?
Yeah, no, it's kind of uncommon, especially if he has no coin here. I would understand this if he had a coin, perhaps. But right now, this Crusader is probably going to just die next turn. Like, you have to believe that this Jester is going to be able to finale this. That's 8 HP left for the Crusader altogether. And there is no real way other than just a stun on the Jester to prevent this finale from coming. For this 200% bonus damage, this Jester was left unchecked for the duration of the fight, and he's just going to get this finale off no matter what, be it on the Grave Robber or on the Crusader alone. Oh, there is no stun available for the Crusader Stickyblad. It's a big mistake here, I believe. Like, you have to take the stun. That's crazy bad.
I'd say that's very bad. This is the danger of taking that Bulwark of Light. Use it on turn 1 very early on. Lots of people would say that is the only time you can really use it to gain its full effect. But Stickyblad, we've seen turn 5, and he's not really got anyone being afflicted, really. The Highwayman's close, as is the Vestal, but that Vestal's probably got a 50% chance to Virtue now, Mike. You don't want to hit her. She's a liability to your team now. Stressing her out is good for... Well, let's see. Is he going to get the coin flip, Mike? This could end the game. Oh, and he doesn't.
No.
Stickyblad not entirely out of it yet, then.
Yeah, it's looking so scary. You have to believe, it's just kind of delaying the inevitable at this point. Honestly, Stress can always win, though. This MAA still very healthy. The Leper very healthy as well. So maybe, just maybe, those act outs will be enough. But look at the state in which those characters are.
Yeah, you are being really whittled down here, aren't you? You've been defeated in this battle of attrition. I'd say already. I don't think there's much coming back from this kind of health deficit as a team like this. I think right now you need to push forward aggressively. Thankfully, those blights have ticked up from that Grave Robber, though, doing 16 per turn to that Vestal. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye, Grave Robber.
That's really scary for Stickyblad, honestly. I don't know what he's gonna do right now. I honestly have no idea what he's gonna do from here.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the Man-at-Arms alive, you've got that Leper alive untouched, but that Leper, you don't want him as your last character in this kind of 1v4 stress matchup, do you? Because he's only really able to attack one person, and right now, you need to be doing that a ridiculous amount of stress that Bello can do out. Something like 60 to 70 in one single ability. That is what Stickyblad really kind of needs to try and rely on right now. He doesn't even have the stun to try and lock down the oncoming stuns. So I'd say maybe bite the bullet with this Crusader and start using Zealous Accusation as soon as you can.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that kind of might work, but still, man, this Crusader hasn't got a single accusation of maybe one over the duration of this entire fight. It's looking so uncomfortable for Sticky right now. Like, I wonder what really he can do here. Like, this MAA perhaps, still kind of healthy. Maybe, just maybe he manages to do enough stress to kill this Vestal at some point. But I just don't feel he has done enough damage yet. Like, playing stress is this battle of attrition, where at some point you have to just start trading off your character's lives. Exactly. But honestly, like, at this point here, he hasn't traded enough. Like, he hasn't done enough damage for how much damage he's taken himself.
I mean, Mike, even if we are Stickyblad, let's say, I'd say that the prayer I am on right now, the wing I am holding on to achieve this prayer is killing that Vestal. But even if you do kill that Vestal, I reckon you're still really fighting an uphill battle here.
Yeah, because the Highwayman is the biggest threat, right? The Vendetta did drop, so he's going to just shred people right now. And the only real way in which you can threaten the Highwayman if you are Stickyblad is this MAA, because everything else will just get reposted, and those repost crits, provided obviously Androfago does remove those debuffs, right, will just be absolutely huge. So that's something that he has to really consider here right now. This Highwayman is just a constant threat. He probably could have tackled this a bit sooner. In this fight right now, it just looks insurmountable, honestly. Yeah,
I really would have liked to have seen him pivot onto the Jester, if only for maybe one Intimidate, just to get him, afflicted early. Get some acts out if you can.
Yeah. Or maybe just focus the Jester altogether, just to force the Vestal to start healing, because Jester is such a fragile target. You can really take the guy down to 0 HP, even with those non-damaged characters, even with a stress composition. You can just take the Jester to the 0 HP mark within a single turn if you're lucky. Okay, this is a crit though.
Is just quite basically out of luck. The blights on the Vestal are going to disappear very soon. So he's not going to be put in that position where every turn he's getting knocked down into death's door. Stickyblad is going to struggle to, I'd say, cement any kill, especially because he doesn't have a stun. So we have two active healers here from Androfago who can do it whenever they want to.
I mean, those bellows are actually kind of weighing heavy on Androfago's composition. Though we have to believe that this Highwayman has like about -60, maybe -80% damage right now. Low debuff resistance because of the affliction as well means that he will indeed be taking a lot of punishment right now from the stress and from those damage debuffs as well. Androfago has not cleansed those debuffs yet.
Get the kill here, brother.
Yeah, very likely to happen. It is indeed a death blow as well. So. That was kind of something that he probably should have seen coming. Given that there were very heavy damage debuffs across the board, he could have just healed with the Crusader and probably been fine. He did not do this, so right now it's looking like double scary for them. And like obviously those stress, this stress is kind of mounting up, but it's so late. Androfago isn't
well because a lot of Stickyblad's value here and his staying power is baked into these debuffs that reduce damage. All Androfago needs to do is realize that he can just cleanse these.
Was it 3 damage PBS though?
Yeah, I mean we've seen 4 damage crit open veins.
Yeah.
We've seen
So those debuffs are really hard.
They're doing their job. They are doing their job, and I think Androfago needs to start cleansing them, really giving them the respect they deserve.
He should have just started doing this way sooner than he did. So right now, if he just removes this from the Highwayman, I guess like this is a person who has a Vendetta active as well. This is just going to be so huge. So he can just cleanse. I would just go for the stun cleanse, man. Sorry for the debuff cleanse, because this means this Highwayman is basically untouchable. He does this as well, so he just goes for the removal here, and this means that indeed this Highwayman here is going to do a large amount of damage. However, we do see a pass from the Vestal. Another one though, there's just a lot of stress across the board again on this Jester, who is going to hit Death's Door very soon again, just because of the stress that is mounting up and of the very high debuff that he is under right now. 100% more stress taken is something to be reckoned with.
These bleeds being resisted here from the Man-at-Arms, really, it's exactly what you need to see if you're Stickyblad. I think you need to be a little bit worried. You are starting to see these 2 guys at the back here starting to have heart attacks, starting to really always be threatened. But saying that, Androfago is in complete control. If he wants to stun the left, he can stun the left, but if he wants to heal, he can heal.
Have we doubted Stickyblad too soon? Because it feels like he's kind of slowly clawing his way back into this game, despite like some medium mistakes, you could say. He's actually doing a lot of stress across the board. You can see like a lot of afflicted characters fall right now. 180, 170 stress across the board except for the Crusader. This is looking very grim all of a sudden.
I think Androfago here, in these last 4 turns, he's not bit the bullet and really started to try and kill any of these people.
No,
maybe the Jester syndrome we talk about, right? You get that first kill, the second kill, and then you just don't know what to do.
You have to feel like he underestimated the debuffs coming from Stickyblad, and this is really starting to mount up into something that you might not be able to come back from. Because let's have a look at this. Like the DMA just keeps bellowing. He's not bleeding at all. Those bleeds are continuously resisted, and Androfago has no other bullets in his chamber rather than just bleed and a little bit of damage. That is mostly just really denied by those heavy debuffs that the MAA is able to stack.
We are going to need to see some sort of acts out for Androfago here though, for Stickyblad to basically take the win home, because we do need to bear in mind Androfago has AoE healing and he's got a single target healing here and a stun also. So really, I mean, we need Androfago here to win the game. He'd already won 5 turns ago, right?
Yeah.
You hate being in a position where you need to win a game twice, especially now when, quite frankly, it's a half to it's 11:30, yeah, so close to midnight.
I mean, you have to appreciate how tanky those boys are though. Look at this leper. Look, like he has 70% protection, man. Look at this MAA, also very protection heavy here. The bleeds do come through, however, so this might spell the end of Stickyblad eventually, right? So you have to hope, that Androfago, if you're Stickyblad, you just have to hope for those afflictions to come into play right now. You have to hope for the stun to come through as well, which it does. So it actually means that Androfago assumes some control right now, because he was really lacking in terms of control up until now.
With that bleed on board, Stickyblad's Man-at-Arms is not going to be able to act a single ability before he's put on Death's Door here. probably going to die before he can do any acting.
Yeah, very likely to happen. 2 finishers on the side of Androfago here. Like, you have to believe that this is gonna be enough damage right now. Like, you just kind of play it slow and safe right now. If you're Androfago, you just kind of pick the Crusader, maybe just go for this Hail Mary stand. It's like more than 50-50. Oh, it's actually 50-50 really. Almost. Ooh. Wait, I need to do the math in my head.
He's only got one of the trinkets, I believe.
No, he has both, actually. This Crusader has both, so...
Vestal, sorry.
Yeah, so you can just go for the stun of the Crusade on the leper, quite likely to hit that as well, and then you just kind of go for double potential finisher here with those 2 other characters. He doesn't actually go for that either, so you have to just believe that this is gonna be just the killing blow from the Jester. Potentially it is indeed. It's kind of fortunate he gets 2 50-50 killing blows. It was actually 35% to resist this one, so I stand corrected, but still, this is looking very, very grimless, and all those passes are just not gonna do it anymore for Stickyblad. Losing this MAA is absolutely crucial. Like, this was the backbone of this composition, and this was his ticket to winning the game. Losing the MAA probably means that, you know, no more AoE stress, no more like multiple characters at death's door just kind of chain killing each other. That's never gonna happen again. Maybe.
I mean, it's not quite over yet, Mike. Look. If we get a few act outs here, let's say the Vestal starts shouting and then passes. Maybe this Intimidate Leper can start taking one down, taking another one down.
Okay, Jesus, yeah. Okay, I see this now. Oh my god, I hate to see it though. If you're playing the damage comp, I was in this place yesterday. I like 4 perfectly healthy characters at 150, 160 stress, and I was against a single freaking MAA. Sorry, against a single freaking Houndmaster.
There we go. You see that, Mike? You see that?
It is collapsing slowly. Holy shit! Look at this man. It's a deckbuilding Crusader as well. Come on!
Right.
Can you believe it?
God. This is what happens when you sit on your hands for 7 turns. Don't even try. You get 1v4'd by a leper.
No.
By a leper, no less.
No, it's not happening. Yes. Is it happening?
Yes.
Sis, is this happening? Is this the reality? Yes, he's dead on the Jester. That's gonna break both the Vestal and the Highwayman. This is so much stress all of a sudden. It looked like this was a game over. But honestly, this is looking so freaking grim right now.
I mean, Mike, it is game over, just not for the person you think, pal.
It's not over yet. No, it's not over. I disagree. This is still a possibility for a stun even. It's actually an act out stun on the leper. It probably comes through, it does. So still 8 DOT stacked on the leper. Obviously impossible to stun the man next turn, but you can safely heal. Okay, safely in quotation marks, obviously. But still, it's feasible for. Oh, never mind. Holy shit!
Mikefield, what did I say?
We watching the same game.
My gypsy blood paying off in Spain.
No,
I predicted every tip and turn.
You just no. This is not happening, sis. This is not happening. I am not buying this narrative.
It's already happened.
This is fake news. This is it's fake news. I'm not buying this. That's impossible. What the hell?
Typical liberal.
Oh, the House of Cards collapses for Androfago. He was stepping onto thin ice and he went one step too far. He's down, and Stickyblad takes this very late into the game. 16 turns in, he takes game number 1. Crazy ending.
That leper that is walking away with a little bit more skin peeling off than he was when he came in, brother. The amount of damage he took, the fact he could take that in a 1v4. I mean, really, we saw Stickyblad very presciently. Rather than trying to push to get one character into Death's Door, he focused on the Crusader at the front, got the Crusader onto an even level of stress as everyone else. That way, chain reaction, tick. The Jester killing the Crusader. Oh, my compliments to the chef, Mike, right?
Yeah.
Just a spicy one right there.
That was a spicy game, guys. Really crazy stuff. I can't believe this happened. Like, that was the most insane moment I have experienced in a long time in the Butcher Circus. I have been in so many really insane games, guys, but this was just the craziest ever. I believe like even Stickyblad didn't see this one coming. Seriously, it was just absolutely nuts. I can't believe this. We do actually have the first result coming in right now. So it is Radzi taking down Dev Decimator as well. So we have the first person moving into the second part of the bracket right now. So it is going to be Radzi taking over here. Which,
one of these dark horses, Mike, right? One of these guys none of us know anything about. Very interesting.
I told you he might take the whole thing, actually. I saw him play yesterday. He was crazy good. So I'm not really surprised to see this happen. But still, this is just such a nice tournament. But let's just have a look at the bracket very quickly before the guys just jump into another game then. Because they're just inviting each other. So I'm just going to show you guys that, okay, we don't have the time, guys. You can just go check the bracket yourselves. I'm updating this with the results as I get them. So you can just go to the live bracket using this link here. You can also, thank you for the follow, my man. If you do follow, just follow in the guys' steps. Just follow me as well on Twitch or subscribe to me on YouTube. Let's get ready for game number 2, guys. I think that this is almost ready for the players. And they are setting up.
Really quickly, Mike. It was one deck. Right, so we have to use the same deck, correct?
No. Yeah, they have to use the same deck, but they have like 4 teams per deck, so they have to.
Oh, you done it. Okay.
I
thought deck was team. I guess.
No.
They are allowed to change teams.
Yeah, Stickyblad has no longer has access to his killer leopard team apparently. Thank you, Razvilman, and thank you A4Cubic for the follows. Appreciated, much appreciated, guys. So there is no more Stickyblad comp on the cards here. The crazy leopard comp, he told me he was gonna show it off, he was gonna showcase it in the tournament game, and he did, man. This was a crazy outcome of a fight, but still, that's just, I'm just still shattered by that. I'm just still shattered by that, guys.
I mean, someone out there needs to buy me a new Hyman, because that shattered me, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. I am speechless. So as soon as those guys are ready to go into the second match, I am ready as well. So they're preparing. I think they experienced some small bugs, so they're just kind of trying to fix it as we speak. And we will go into the game once the guys indeed prepare all their characters, right? So just a reminder, guys, we're playing in a deck-based system, which indeed means that every single time you do win a match, you are no longer able to use that team in a single best of 3 or best of 5. This actually is very interesting in the best of 5s as well, because this actually means that you are forced to win with every single unbanned comp. We're going into game 2. Guys, get ready. This is going to be freaking amazing once again. I swear, those guys... seriously, every single tournament game just freaking delivers.
We are seeing from Stickyblad a team I don't think I've ever seen in tournament play before. You've seen this. Flagellant, Man-at-Arms, Arbalest, Highwayman here. Really interesting team. Coming up against this incredibly strong Jester control team from Androfago here. I think right now it's either player's game. I want to see Stickyblad really using that Flagellant to do insane amounts of damage to Androfago's backline. And I think I want to see Androfago keeping these stuns active and going for any kill he can as soon as possible off a crit, maybe right into the finale. Mike, what about you?
Yeah. Okay, so what the read I'm getting, I think this is somewhat similar to the comp that SBRH was bringing to the table, right? So we have a lot of riposte, we have this very steady front line, we do have the Arbalest to remove any sort of debuffs and bleeds as well. Also, you know, she's a very strong healer overall, like she's just this kind of ultimate character that you want to bring to the table. I feel like this is a very decent comp from Stickyblad.
I mean, especially running into the Harvest and the open veins there.
By the way, you can't harvest this lineup because you get like double reposted by the MAA and the Highwayman, yeah. So this means that your Jester is very likely just to drop to 0 HP instantaneously from a single turn of repose.
55 dodges, so I think you might be able to take one.
Yeah,
I think we'd risk one.
Yeah, right. I would probably go for it now. Like I don't know what he's waiting for. Because he should just go for this now before anything really dirty comes down here. Because there's gonna be a lot of dirty stuff coming down from Stickyblad here now.
Just turn order, I'd say improper play around turn order here. Stunning the Flagellant after the Flagellant has already used his turn. Now, if Stickyblad wanted to, he could pop down that riposte and Jester can't harvest.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, you don't want to do it on that.
Yeah, that was just...
Turkey down for no reason.
You have no reason to do this. You can even just risk getting dodged on because this doesn't really matter. The damage is almost negligible here. What he really wanted to do just is probably getting that repose down. It was a big misplay because you can just, lose the game off the back of a single play sometimes.
I mean, the mana is at half health now.
Yeah.
Half health.
I mean, granted, you have a lot of sustain here. The Flagellant, you have the Arbalest, you have a lot of possible sources of just sustain and healing, right? So it's not really that bad yet. But, there's a lot of threat actually coming down here this turn as well. So he chooses to heal the Arbalest, maybe a bit prematurely as well. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, he probably just waits.
Confused.
So I think he just wanted to heal this fast. He's just waiting for a double stun to come down, and he really just wants to remove both of the flare and just keep playing from there. So this combo is actually quite good against what Androfago has brought to the table, because he has like the stun removal, right? He has a lot of control here. He's a lot of damage, and this dodge obviously very fortunate. But he can basically counteract most of Androfago's game plans here. So obviously the flare has to come down right now. This will probably be counteracted again by another round of stuns though, so we might just see kind of this small exchange here where we see a lot of stuns coming down from Androfago, and this is just traded for the illumination, so for the illuminating flares coming from Stickyblad. So he's probably just doing this right now.
Androfago right now can definitely kill that Flagellant. If he gets a heavy crit with the Highwayman straight into a finale there, that's really the issue. Okay, and now he can't guard it. He can't guard it now.
Yeah, guys, a short note though, you are not allowed to start playing the second round yet. You have to wait. So, because you might want to cash your games. Okay, so, Ratzi, please do not start the second match. I sorry, I have to just message Ratzi, I think, because he's maybe no longer here.
Me to talk over you for a bit?
Yeah, can you just message Ratzi? Can you message Zapine? Can you message those guys, because I think they want to start the match. Please don't start the matches yet. We're just still not finished the first round. You're not allowed to start the second round without the first one being finished. So having a look at this right now, obviously a lot of damage comes down on the Flagellant actually. That's kind of scary for Androfago altogether. Sorry, for Stickyblad, because he might just lose his Flagellant very early into this fight. Like this finale might just be enough, because there is very little protection on this Flagellant here. He doesn't have the Gauntlet Absolution here. He has 0% protection indeed. So this might just be a very quick finale. This can be even emphasized further by this bleed that comes down, and even like a little bit of damage that comes from Dazzling Light too. So this is very scary all of a sudden for Stickyblad. Honestly, he probably loses this Flagellant from the get-go right now. There's gonna be a bleed that takes him to 8 HP,
exactly
I think.
What I
7.
talked about, Mike, right? This early setup, Stickyblad here using this Arbalest first, then there we go.
Yeah, finale. Clean. Like
this
knife through butter.
Turn order is.
Yeah.
Seriously, turn 2, you've got a dead Flagellant. That is really one of the worst things that can possibly happen in this game. Stickyblad right now, what can he do? He doesn't have that long-term DOT to pressure with. All he really can rely on is the Highwayman for damage. And that requires some setup, right? You want to get him into first, and then there's no one he can really move around with, jive with easily, to get point-blank shots off every turn.
You have to consider the fact that you are playing against double stun comp that has a healer, that has 2 active healers really, while you have no real ways of getting those kills. Which means that potentially Stickyblad here has very little to do. Like even those repose, like if you're Androfago here, or Androfago, not sure about the pronunciation of the name however, but the idea here is that you really can take those repose to the face right now, because you don't care. You can get, the stunning loop. Okay, this obviously doesn't work. He does a small misfire, but still, like, you have so much healing available, on top of all the damage that you can do, that you might just want to risk those. Maybe not right now, because you are under a lot of threat. Actually, it's a surprising amount of damage coming down from this Highwayman. Obviously, the Vendetta doing the work, but I feel like Androfago is just always going to be able to out-heal this, as we can see in the picture here.
38 crit, right up to full health. Now, obviously, Stickyblad choosing to pivot, try and take down that Jester. The Jester's already shot its load, so to speak. His money shot is over. So I think, really, he's not the target you want to be going for. Maybe Stickyblad kind of feeling out the competition, seeing if he can poke any weakness, because we did see Androfago before. Maybe not bite the bullet soon enough, not go for that second kill early enough. So if Stickyblad can kind of figure out how to win on turn 3 as opposed to turn 14, maybe he still has an advantage in this game somehow.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the comfort zone of Androfago. I think he picked the very same team twice, which probably means he has a lot of practice on this particular setup. So once even if he wins this one, he probably will be driven out of the comfort zone, because I feel like this is just the comfort composition for him. So and he's playing this very well altogether, right? So I feel like if he takes this win, even if he takes this win here, he still has to deal with Stickyblad and with Stickyblad's comfort comps overall. So that's something I would be very much afraid of. So he may pivot to stress here. That's kind of surprising, to be frank. It also kind of sets him out for the repose here. I don't think he can actually do enough damage.
Yeah, I'd suggest that maybe if Stickyblad can really start to hit every single one of those bellows, he might be able to take it home, but I really don't think so. I mean, Mike, I'm at a bit of a loss here if I'm Stickyblad. What can I actually do to win this?
Go to kind of click the white flag in the left top corner of your screen and just move on.
Time is money at Stickyblad. I can make you, I don't know, $5 for right now, pal.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of slow and steady loss. Obviously, unless Androfago makes a large misplay somewhere, which is obviously a possibility as well. So, yeah, that's something you just have to consider, right? Thank you for the subscription, Jill Rodriguez, man. Thank you so much. Now, you can still lose this if you're Androfago. You just kind of make a single 10 order mistake, like we saw from Stickyblad before. And you may just get outpaced, like you eat a big repose perhaps, and this kind of snowballs into a kill for your opponent. I just don't see this happening. I feel like Androfago is a Darkest One player. He knows what's up, so he probably will just kind of capitalize on the small misplays of his opponent. And he just has one game. Like this game looks pretty solved to me. I didn't update the score, sorry guys, I actually didn't update the score, just realized this. So Stickyblad is winning 1-0. So this Highwayman here probably dies this turn, frankly, because he has no repose available. There is no threat. He is unable to reactivate the repose either right now. So there's no threat at all for Androfago coming into this one right now. He can just go for a lot of damage on this Highwayman and just follow it up with a killing blow with one of those finisher characters he has. So it looks just like a pretty much solved turn number 5. A very fast game, by the way. This is 10-5. We're already kind of seeing a very decisive advantage for one of the players.
We've seen one we say very slight, but it was a giant misplay in turn order. But still, turn order isn't something that some players would even consider. Something you need to be very expert on the game to even kind of have an understanding of it here.
Yeah, so it's kind of game sense, right, that you need.
Exactly. Such a tiny thing has just thrown Stickyblad's entire game off. The Flagellant is the strongest character in the game, I would say, in terms of late game prowess, survivability, and how well you can leverage him to really take down an enemy team. The longer this game goes now, Stickyblad doesn't really have that advantage.
Yeah.
I think that's just, he can't dig himself out of this grave. He's 6'5".
And he has so many ways of salvaging this. You have a guard from the MAA as well. If you just kind of plan your 10 right, you can kind of salvage this Flagellant every single time. Obviously wasn't the case here, so we probably shouldn't be dwelling on this too much, but really looks like a game that was lost off the back of a very serious mistake, right?
Absolutely.
And this just kind of shows, Androfago just not making the mistake already makes him like probably a deserved winner of this fight here. In my eyes, anyway.
Yeah, I think we've seen Androfago perhaps make, at least in the last games, mistakes in a more holistic sense in terms of how well he kind of aggresses his overall offensive strategy. But Stickyblad here, I think, going into this game 3, Stickyblad is the guy who will learn from this mistake. He's the stats guy. He'll have known exactly what he's going to do. And he might just use this team again and get an easy win with it, Mike. Because all he needs now is one more victory.
Yeah, because Androfago is out of comfort zone. You have to think that this is like his...
He's the stats guy. He'll have known exactly what he's going to do. You're going to see that Dirk stab death blow. Oh, death's door there. Not when you would have wanted to see it, but maybe... look at this stress.
You can't guard this. There's no way you can guard this because you have double stuns available. Okay, even a single stun from this Vestal, I feel, is just gonna be enough. And also this Arbalest still... okay, there is a Jester of the finisher even to penetrate the guard, so there is really nothing you can do to prevent this this Highlander from going down. And if he does indeed go down, there is no saving grace. And it actually is a stun as well, landed by this Vessel. This is looking super dire right now.
That Highwayman there sitting on the finisher. Open vein, duelist advancer, even set up a riposte, boom, there's the death blow.
What do you think of the open vein, by the way? Because I feel like Wicked Slice is just such a more potent skill for the Highwayman overall, because it just allows you to get this very highly confident killing blow, like every single time almost, whenever someone is at death's door. It's like plus 20% death blow. Whereas obviously, you know, not having that, instead, you know, using the open vein, also doesn't have that much damage base. I don't think it's just very situational, isn't it?
Well,
overall?
It does turn him into a quasi-bounty hunter, which does kind of synergize well with the Jester. You get the first finale kill, and then you capitalize on every other death's door. But this open veins here, there is always something to say about the potency of DOTs when you are in a Jester comp, right? You put that a few times, you stun someone, he hits the stun, boom, pop down, can't heal, finale.
True.
Really, really potent here. And I think
Absolutely.
also the open veins here, especially against man-at-arms, very, very, very potent, right?
Yeah. That's true, like, last game it just actually paid dividends. Like, having that skill probably meant that Androfago got where he got with that comp, right? Because otherwise he would have been just completely disarmed, like, not having the ability to land any DOTs. By the way, I just realized that, you know, using this guard preemptively with this MAA, if you run... Like, this might have been like a small mind game, maybe. You just kind of can take the snuff and... Okay, this is GG, by the way. You can take the snuff, and you can just keep using the guard to just stack the bleed resistance as well, which could have potentially been detrimental here.
Enough about is that it gives remarkable protection and bleeding blight resist. Also, if you take command, it increases the damage that people who are guarded do. And he was using command quite a lot that game.
You know what character we're no longer going to see in the following matchup, by the way? Jester. There is no more Jester available for either of the players, so we'll just see this kind of clean game right now. Perhaps, I'm very anxious really to see what comes out of this, because you just have to feel like the Jester was the name of the game for the past two matchups here, and right now this is just out of the picture. We'll see like we have two stress compositions from Androfago here, one of them being probably like a variation on the SBRH composition. We also have two kind of stress repose comps from Stickyblad, so I'm very curious to see what happens there.
I mean, you've got to be a little bit worried as either player here, just due to the prevalence of riposte on either side. If you take a team that wants to kind of focus on AoE, even on 2-slot AoE, you might be in an awful, awful lot of trouble here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on, I need to solve the tournament a bit here. So we have Dr. Close, etc. taking down Winter Bliss in a 2-1 game. So we have a little update here again. So we have Cetra moving on Winter Bliss, unfortunately eliminated 2-1. So I do submit the score right now. You guys can check it in the bracket yourselves. And the guys are slowly... Sis, can you keep an eye on the Discord so that we see when the guys are actually ready for the fight? Or they're actually coming into this one right now. So I'm ready as well. We can go for this. So it's going to be game number 3 coming very shortly. As these guys also state that they are all, ready to go too. So let me just show you guys the state of the game right now. We see the bracket. So we see Ratzi and Cetra already securing the spot in the second round here. Mizukin and Zapin and SBRH awaiting them. There obviously Zoko Forever was forced to forfeit his matches, which means that forfeit his matches. Yeah, so this means that there is a single player who just moves on 2-0. No problem, Zoko. That's fine. Like, this is a community tournament anyway, so it's perfectly fine by us. So we kind of see this bracket, shaping up slowly but steadily. I'm very excited to see what in the end comes out of this.
I think I'm going to keep you to our little bet we made yesterday of the beer to whoever guesses the person that goes furthest. My money was on the racehorse I like to call I Love RNG. What about you, big boy?
Oh, so I was thinking SBR8 still, right? So I
think... it was when we weren't allowed to pick him, remember?
Oh, like who gets further, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you said I Love RNG. I think I said Cetra, didn't I?
I I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a race between those two guys. So we have no result of I Love RNG versus 135 Jamin yet, so that's something to kind of keep an eye out for, right? I'd really love to see like if you kind of lose this from the get-go or not. And again, like we had our bets for the tournament winners. I think like SBRH was our very big favorite here. We also considered Mizikant potentially just taking it as well. Also Setra, you know, a very big contestant, right? So just have to kind of think of all those possibilities coming into the next series here. So we're just kind of looking at the brackets right now, waiting for the guys to get ready. I think the opponent of Stickyblad, so Androfago, is taking his time right now. So it's just kind of the matter of him setting up, because it's a very important moment for them. And like, you make a mistake in the draft here, like if you pick a wrong composition, you know what your opponent is going to pick, like you're 1 out of 2 basically. So you have to just optimize to the limit. If you are able to do so, you probably persevere and move on.
You love to see this, don't Mike, though? You absolutely love to see this. I know that when I was in these last tournaments, I took an awful long time really making complete new comps on the fly just to counter what I know I'll be up against. Androfago here, that's exactly what he's doing. Really, really want to see something completely fresh from him. I want to see counter and lock down Stickyblad.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very curious to see what those guys bring to the table for the final game. I think they're starting the match right now, so just gonna go right into it as well, guys. Game number 3 between the two players here, between Androfago and Stickyblad, coming to the cinemas near you once I'm able to find my right channel here. Here we go, guys. We are 1-1 in the series. The winner of this one advances to round 2. The loser is unfortunately eliminated from the tournament altogether.
Oh man, Stickyblad right now is in a world of hurt. Androfago with 2 ripostes available to him. And Stickyblad with a Houndmaster and an Antiquarian. Brutal there. The early dodge, you know, it's nice to see, but really, for Stickyblad, you've got to be terrified right off the get-go. Maybe I would have even thrown that stun onto the Highwayman, just so I can get these early bleeds out, these early blights out.
Yeah, you know possibly.
What? It's in Androfago's corner right now, isn't it? I think he's taking this one already.
I mean, not necessarily. I actually have seen this comp win against this sort of stuff. Like, you were actually doing super well on something similar. We would just transform, go really hard with those rages or slams, just to eliminate certain character from the fight. I would just say Highwayman, you can just kind of risk taking some damage from this character even. Just, you know, take him out as soon as you can, or just at least threaten him. Because this means, like, the Vessel has to start healing, and you're actually free to start doing your own thing in this case. Like, obviously we see a Rage come down here on the Flagellant. I'm very much against that. I feel like this is just kind of a wasted turn. The Flagellant can always heal with the Exsanguinate here, and this is just gonna be probably a world of trouble for Stickyblad. Because
not only is it a wasted turn, Mike, it's very, very detrimental to him if he actually does need to focus on a different character now. He's got 2 characters now that can essentially full heal from Datador if they get critical.
Also that,
For Stickyblad, considering this remarkable direct damage now, is the only real avenue he has of taking this home. He's not wow. You see, that's something that I would never do. It's the only damage Stickyblad really can rely on it, single target wise, is that Holy Lance. And I was just about to say, he's never going to get a chance to do that. But if Androfago pushes that Crusader out, just because he's scared of the stun, he might be facing a monster crit from Holy Lance. And this is another reason why we didn't want him to attack that Flagellant, did we?
Oh, the debuff doesn't land. It's crucial as well. It's absolutely critical. Exang, very low accuracy, but still doesn't come through here. This debuff would have meant that Flagellant have probably had to reconsider, maybe redeem instead of doing this very heavy bleed attack, which is no longer going to be the case. Here we have a stun and a daze. This actually means that this Crusader will have to act last next turn, so there are no possible stuns coming down. There is no way to control the Flagellant here, and he's just going to do monstrous amounts of damage with those bleeds and, you know, and the Exang as well. Like, a Flagellant below 40% HP is ridiculously lethal. He has bonus crit chance, bonus damage. He just obliterates people, and this is what this guy is gonna do right now, I feel. Like, there is he's so much time right now to do what he wants to do here.
Single Exsanguinate onto the Abominational Crusader, and 3 turns, there'll be a half health, probably a death store. That is how strong the Flagellant is.
It's like 9 bleed per turn on top of just the sheer amount of damage you can do. Obviously, Exsanguinated the Crusader probably not the best thing in the world to do, but you can just easily Exsang the A-bomb and you're gonna be golden. I also feel like not taking the MAA on a composition like this one, like on a very pure stress comp, is a big mistake as well, because this actually means that there is no way to lower the damage that Repose does here. Like, if you can
That's an interesting healer. I don't think he's going to get the full value out of that.
No.
Really. He's only going to get value out of that, perhaps incidentally a small amount of healing onto the Abomination of the Crusader, and obviously the big healing onto the Houndmaster. Maybe it would have been more worthwhile just taking the Houndmaster and licking wounds instead. Maybe trying again to throw a flash powder down on the Flagellant, but also have a look at the Flagellant's trinkets there. He's got the Crown of Thorns, 15% accuracy. That means he's going to throw down one more flash powder just to kind of overcome that trinket. So maybe that is not a viable kind of route to go through.
Absolutely. Androfago actually goes for Open Vein. He took too long to think about this, but he's still kind of doing alright. I guess like in those heals from the Antiquarian mean that probably, if we had an MAA on top of this would have been kind of a salvageable position, I feel like, where we can just kind of keep spamming those bellows and eventually just outpace the damage output of Androfago and take over the game. However, no MAA present. I don't think he has the Bellwalk of Light on the Crusader here either, which actually means that there is very little he can do to mitigate those, very high damage repos coming down from his opponent. And this just feels really bad, because if he had actually had access to this, you would have probably been able to just kind of, as I'm saying, kind of outpace what Androfago is doing here at some point, and maybe win the game. However, not having that, there are just so many threats. The bleeds from the Flagellant, the sheer damage output from those riposts.
Man, I don't think I like that move. He guard dogged the Abomination there, only putting himself up to 35 dodge. That's nowhere near a reliable amount of dodge to basically dodge any riposte or oncoming attacks here.
That's Exsang. That's Exsang though that you dodge. I feel like you force the redeem here from the Flagellant of Androfago though.
You definitely don't. Every single time you're Exsang, that was wrong. I mean, it's a big crit. I don't think it lands. Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean, he had to do this because there was so much. He had to do this. He couldn't have exsanguinated the A-bomb. That's why Stickyblad actually dropped that guard dog there, just to kind of force this to come down onto the Houndmaster.
Nowhere near forced. It was nowhere near forced. It was still about a 70% chance to hit. I think you still take that, especially because right now what you've done is you've given Stickyblad's rejuvenating vapors a lot of value. It's not just healing one target anymore. It's healing 3 targets, and it's healing 3 targets who basically right now are all kill targets. So right now, Androfago has actually given Stickyblad the opportunity to get value for things he'd used already, which really, Stickyblad is a fantastic thing. It's going to take this now, try and do some damage to the Flagellant again.
Yeah, but do you want to risk it if you're Androfago? If you see that you have a foothold in this game, even a stranglehold, do you want to risk that Exsang just missing completely and maybe lose the Flagellant later down the line?
I'd argue right now that he's potentially fallen down the mountain he previously had a foothold in. You never really... I mean, if it's 70%, 70 to 80% basically, you always go for that, especially because when that lands, the Houndmaster is essentially as good as dead. He needs to be lick-wounding every turnstile. He might even need more incidental healing from the Antiquarian there. Really, if you did that, you would almost have someone basically dead already, You've got quite a few finishers on this team. You've got some increased death blow chance coming out of the Highwayman. Probably could have got the Houndmaster down with relative ease. Right now, Stickyblad can use these rejuvenating vapors and heal almost all of his team. He's got incredible value out of that right now. And Androfago, I mean, he's got a pot on the front, his Flagellant's in the back, he's going to have to move that forward. He's going to go for a stun here, obviously.
Maybe that regev was a bit too late, maybe just kind of, using that powder was a long shot. He could have just used those vapors from the get-go, like, keep stacking the regev. He would have been at 9 regen right now, just completely counteracting any sort of damage coming through. So maybe this was a small mistake, honestly, from Stickyblad, because he could have just potentially had, like, so much healing going in his favor, which he kind of still does, but it's just not enough, I feel, still. Obviously, this Flagellant also out of position. Actually, you might be right, like, Stickyblad might still have a decent amount of control in this game.
Absolutely. I mean, Stickyblad, I think he was given a lot of opportunity to basically steal this game right now.
Yeah.
If he focuses on healing, he's got his Houndmaster in position to stun Holy Lance. That's a fantastic combo. Might get someone out of that store.
Okay, so right now I'm actually not sure whom I would bet my money on, because obviously still a lot of potential damage coming from Androfago. He can definitely take this still. Like, you have to believe this Flagellant also might be dropped to within the X rank threshold again. He can just use this to stack some more threat across the board. Obviously those Regia Vapors coming up huge for Stickyblad here. Like, he is actually healing a lot of the damage coming through, and at the same time Androfago really not doing that much stress, which is secondarily could potentially be doing as well. Because you can do stress with this.
Stickyblad isn't doing that much stress either. Stickyblad is ostensibly a stress team, right?
Yeah.
And it's turn 4, and these really are not turn 4 stress bars you want to be looking at. He's kept that Abomination transformed the entire game, but not really been able to do quite enough pressure to actually land a kill yet, or really even threaten a kill potentially. So Stickyblad, I would want to see him pivot slightly, maybe transform the Abomination, throw off right now, perfect, transform it. I think you throw off a Beast Bile there. I think you do throw off that Beast Bile.
I mean, do you actually do this? Because
it's going to eat into that Highwayman Riposte, but the Flagellant, you do kind of want to see the Flagellant taking dirty. Now.
I don't like this though. I feel like you have to be doing stress damage if you are Stickyblad. You can't be playing with that Clubman. You have to be just throwing those Hunt Harries no matter what. You have a lot of region going in your favor. You can't freaking afford to keep trying to stun people. You have to be doing stress damage. Like, you either just try to sustain, keep yourself alive, or you do a lot of stress damage. You cannot be risking, just kind of this game dragging out too long.
You never want to stun a Flagellant who is going to use their healing to put them at minus 100 healing.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, here... Obviously, he could have actually used the Abomination to achieve the very same goal. Like, he's now going to be forced to use the Absolution anyway, so maybe there's a good reason to actually be using that stun there. But still, you just have to be taking control of the game. And the way you do this, if you are Stickyblad, is just dropping those AoE stress attacks, which obviously Stickyblad isn't doing right now. This is 10 form and no afflictions. We are nowhere near getting anybody afflicted yet, because he has been using all those characters to try to salvage this situation, and the attempt to salvage this situation is okay if and only if you have this MAA who just continuously lowers the damage potential of the enemy team and just makes the game winnable for you. This is not the case at all. We might just see a dead Abomination, not the case yet. Still very, very scary for Stickyblad. You have to feel like this is just such a scary situation for them.
No, I mean, I'd say Stickyblad right now is...
almost out of it.
Yeah, I think he's about 17 miles up Schitt's Creek, and his paddle broke before he even got in the canoe. You know what I mean? Really an awful lot of trouble right now. He's been completely locked down from using his AoE stress strategy. Even when he had the opportunity to do it, with a full health Houndmaster with Rejuvenation on, you almost want to take damage there, because it gives that Rejuvenating Vapors more value. He just
absolutely.
Trying to stun a Flagellant, trying to always kill that Flagellant. A Flagellant, every time it takes melee hits, it heals stress. So really, don't want to be doing that too often if you are a stress-based team anyway.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So that's looking so damn dire for them. And obviously this Flagellant, again, forced to move. He can't use that healing move yet. I mean, he could have actually done the redeem here, but I feel like he just decides against this here. Still possibly a game that Stickyblad can take control of, like, at some point, maybe, but like, still, look at the heals he has. Why is he trying to stun this man? Like, you don't probably... Okay, you know what? He might win this off the back of this play, because you can just kill the Flagellant at some point next turn. Because there's
Remember, Androfago can heal with that Vestal.
Yeah, twice, but it's really the question of if... first of all, the Abomination gets the slam now, which is still on the cards. You can just slam to 0 HP. You just have to go for the slam, man. You just have to go for the slam or for the rage. And then you just follow up with the Holy Lance and try to kill the Flagellant.
He's going to transform and heal.
I don't like this.
If I was to go all in on you in the street and say, who's one person that hates playing defensively in Darkest Dungeon, who would you say?
Yeah. I would have gone hard on this Flagellant here. Like, this is the light in the tunnel for you right now. Just the corpse of the Flagellant means you probably win this game, and the corpse not being there now means that you probably lose this, because this Flagellant heals up to full HP again, and he's so freaking safe, man. And there is nothing he can do right now, because this, he's out of the range for the Crusader. He can no longer punish that. So you can no longer Holy Lance anyone. You are really in trouble right now if you're Stickyblad, because he could have definitely just kind of at least forced Androfago to play in his hands. right? Because he could have forced, the Vessel to heal and potentially just kind of followed up with a killing blow somehow. He would have like 2 chances to do this. Obviously, very risky to do this at the same time against the Flagellant, but still something you can consider doing, at least if you are in a dire spot. However, you can see Stickyblad actually playing very defensively and maybe just getting away with this. We have seen this side before in the tournaments. SBRH, Adelbart as well. Those strategies, like this very slow and steady stress play, has actually worked for quite a few players. So maybe we're just underestimating the slow and steady play style of Stickyblad, who might just be able to take it.
Slow and steady stress builds, right? The Stickyblad is turn 6, and those stress bars haven't moved since turn 3.
No, that's true.
Exactly. He's went all in. I mean, this is something that I like to do, and actually won me the first tournament, I believe. Just really going offensively with this stress team. Your opponent might not expect it if you just really rage, start doing insane amounts of damage, keep pushing the flash. I hate flagellant. Say flagellant, please.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Actually, ask another native speaker about this. He told me this was like
Cloak likes flagellant.
Yeah, he also says it, but no, I asked like a friend of mine from the UK as well, so there are 2 alternative pronunciations of the word. It's like, I think like somewhat like, so both of them are correct. Right? I'm just gonna say it your way though, okay?
Cheers, bud. Love you.
So say it again, man. Say it again.
Flagellant.
Flagellant. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Flagellant. Team Flagellant.
Speaking of the devil here, this Flagellant has been ramparted into position 2. Now Stickyblad's Crusader can Holy Lance in here. We're seeing an awful lot of kind of slight misplays from both people. Yeah, I think really are kind of counteracting each other now.
Yeah, so the kill might be on the cards. Okay, that's a stance, so he does read into this. He sees that's kind of on the cards. He anticipates that, takes this Crusader out of the equation here. This might be good, actually. So honestly, like the only character who's actually able to do stress in this entire freaking fight, 6 turns, was this Abomination. Like those Harass stacks are what decided that, those characters of Androfago have any stress on them whatsoever. Also, this Flagellant, is healing more stress that he's taking from those hits. So very, very scary situation for Stickyblad here. He has actually probably taken equal amount of stress to his opponent, and that's just something you don't want to happen if you're playing this pure. This is the purest stress comp you can imagine.
Brutal. He's got 9. Wow, look at that though.
And the region is crazy.
If you get put against a riposte team, if life gives you lemons, do you know what you do? You just heal. You don't eat the lemon, you just heal yourself, right? That's exactly what Stickyblad is doing right now. Absolutely pushing that Houndmaster out of any harm's way that would have came from an Exsanguinate. The most punishing DOT ability in the game, right?
Yeah.
27 damage over 3 turns, negated completely.
That's absolutely insane, I agree. 15 healing per round, I have not seen this in a long time. I used to play a composition called the Immortal comp, but this was basically that. Like, that comp was healing for days. But yeah, that's just kind of something that reminds me of this. The only difference being that, you didn't have the Houndmaster there, you just had the MAA, I think.
What on earth can Androfago
even
touch the Antiquarian, Mike? He cannot touch her.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for the follow, Epic Samurai. Welcome to the dungeon. Guys, we are witnessing one of the longest series I have ever been in. This is such a lengthy best of 3, guys. We started 7 p.m. sharp. It is 8 p.m., like 7 past 8, and they are still playing this final match of the best of 3, and they're nowhere near the finish. By the way, look at how long those guys are taking to actually execute their turns. Actually, they're usually letting the road burn out, because this has been a very long fight, time-wise, but we are only at turn 8. They are really playing this slow. You have to appreciate this if you're cis, especially if you're cis.
Exactly, I more than any people always keep mentioning you want to take as long as you have. That's one of the only resources you really have that you can use to gain advantage of your opponent. And here, that's done onto the Abomination. It's actually more backbreaking than you would think, because that Abomination is really the only damage dealer for Stickyblad here now. That Houndmaster, I would say you just want to lick wounds on it, right? You just want to make sure that all of your characters are at full health now, because every single turn you use Rejuvenating Vapors like this, the Crusader, the Antiquarian, and right now the Abomination aren't even getting any value out of it. So you really want to try and play a little. You know what? I would have even thrown down Festering Vapors that turn. Maybe thrown down a Flash Powder. You know, he loves down Flash Powders. Maybe throw it down on the Man-at-Arms so that when his repulse does come back up, it'll be a little bit less accurate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that now. He won't be able to select him and heal out of Deathstorm. This is why. You asked me earlier why Open Vein is strong. Brutal. We see that here. There we go. I'd say that's a reasonably smart decision there. Big heal cut off that. Getting big rejuvenations there. Probably in about 17, I'd say now per turn.
Still such a freaking slow game altogether, right? Both players really not doing much damage or stress. They're just kind of trying to... I feel like they're both very much scared to go all in, just make any risky call at all, because this might just mean the end of your tournament life. Like every single, I think that's why he didn't X-Tank this Houndmaster as well, because he just knew that he misses that, this might be just the game, like the tournament losing move for them, man, right? They're all on the edge here right now.
You are not going to heal. You are not really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. Like I actually see light in the tunnel for Stickyblad right now, because he's slowly taking those guys to Affliction without really taking much damage himself. So if he's able to kind of keep the pace here, obviously those bleeds will come in handy for Androfago, but those heavy heals from Stickyblad, they might just be enough to keep the man in contention.
Probably the highest DOT and healing over time numbers we will ever see. Look at Sanguinate now, pushing his bleed over time up to like 26.
Yeah,
28.
So really, that's the problem for Sticky right now. So Androfago just takes this gambit to him, and you just have to feel that this might be enough to turn the tables here, right? Because you might just not be able to keep this Houndmaster alive long enough right now at this point.
I mean, the Houndmaster is taking enough DOT to essentially zero it from 100 every single turn.
Yeah.
He needs an Arbalest critting when he can just do that every single turn, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is very scary, but at the very same time, you can potentially just use the Crusader, use the Houndmaster's heal. Like, okay, no more lick wounds though, so no licking, man, for you. There's no licking, sis. Unfortunately,
Get your mind out of the gutty Polish freak. Back into it.
Oh, he could have. I feel like he is overdoing those Regen Vapors, though. He could have potentially just gone for the for the Festering Vapors here.
I mean, at some point you need to be remotely aggressive in order to have any form of defense, right?
Yeah, because you do need to break those characters. Like if you are playing just slow as Stickyblad, this is okay for the most part of the equation. However, you have to break those guys, beyond 100 stress, because if you don't do this, you're really playing against a clean slate. Really, there's nothing else. Like you just play against a blank slate. Clean slate. I mean, it's clean slate, right? So you're basically
Stickyblad right now is genuinely trying to out-heal all the incoming DOTs from a Highwayman with open veins and from a Flagellant with 3 per turn.
I don't like what I see. That's a Death Houndmaster, man. That's a Death Houndmaster, I think. Or close to being dead.
That's a stunned Houndmaster as well.
Yeah. So there's gonna be that's a stunned Crusader Death Houndmaster. That's what I would title my movie anyway. So he stuns the Sager now,
I think
prevents the healer.
I'm in linguists, pal, and not in the movies. But right now, this is looking to be a movie ending, right? Into the game 3. Again, I don't like that. I think that's a little bit too defensive. I say try and kill that Houndmaster. Try and kill him. Because that Crusader now, on the following turn, can heal him. Oh, well, he's probably dead now. Yeah, he's definitely dead now.
Yeah, so dead. I mean, I'm not really sure about the ranges that the Highwayman has with his attacks here. So this might just be the saving grace for this Houndmaster. Like, maybe there's just no attack that can hit this guy in the 3rd row.
Stun.
Yeah, but that's just not enough, right? You can just kind of try to repose this.
You can Retribution, you can Retribution. He's got a lot active, but again, if there was a Man-at-Arms on Stickyblad team, this might have hit our Deathstorm. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, that's fortunate, because you can now heal this and maybe not be safe or okay, but you're just gonna be...
To be honest, Mike, you'd be safe enough, actually.
Yeah.
Probably now lick wounds there, you're only taking, I believe, 3 or so DOT per turn. That means if you start to do those rejuvenating vapors again, you're fine.
Heal as well. Yeah.
There are no Sanguinates on the field, are there?
Yeah, that's true. So he's going to be okay.
Turn 10, he's run out of almost all of his healing, right?
Fuck, that's crazy.
He's going to get him down.
This is gonna be the longest series we ever cast together, sis. I'm gonna kind of call it now.
What a series as well.
Yeah, that's insanity. That's absolute insanity. So we see another redraft. Man, Stickyblad might just take this freaking game. I don't believe my words, but this is what's happening here. Like, I feel like he's just slowly taking over. Like, he has been able to. This is like way slower than Adelbart, by the way, which we hated. Like, we hated his playstyle, but it was efficient. And this is Mike,
I'll tell you what. There's a huge difference here. Stickyblad has, some would say, been backed into a corner here by the sheer fact he's facing a double riposte team, and most of his offensive abilities are strictly AoE. So they'd hit leave riposte twice, probably get 2 kills if you were to do that, right? But Stickyblad said, you know what?
Do you really hear this? Fuck, no!
Wow.
I'm sorry, I would have zealous accusation this, like 10 times out of 10.
Too far. He's taking the meme too far right now.
Shit, that's crazy. This is insane. I mean, he probably will advance because of those plays, though. You have to believe, like, he's just... This is the slowest killer, guys. This is like, I don't know...
I would have loved to have seen that, to be honest. If you did zealous accusation there, when your Crusader is put down to roughly half health, somewhere about there, right? Androfago, their mind games for him. He's going to try and target the Crusader as well. Oh my god, look at that.
Oh,
do it again. Play it again, Sam. Come on.
Yeah, so as chat is saying, man, this flagellant will run out of heals eventually. He no longer has X-Sang available. He'll probably use the Redeem now. And at some point in the future, there will be no heals available. And honestly, Stickyblad's composition as good as new. Almost. Obviously, this Houndmaster being the exception to the rule. But still, he is doing extremely well right now. Like, obviously, he cannot run out of riposts, which is kind of unfortunate, I guess. But still, like, I feel like...
I mean, to be honest, why would Stickyblad want Androfago to run out of riposts, right? He can simply stack his rejuvenation over and over and over again. Not give a care in the world, right?
It's like, that's such a sick game. That's such a crazy, crazy, crazy game. I just can't believe we are witnessing this. It looks like, seriously, Stickyblad is...
we can literally see the cogs work in Stickyblad's mind right now. He seems slowly mousing over them. That's a really good sign. It means he's thinking a little bit here. Unfortunately, though, Hoop popped right. There we go. This is so brutal for him now, because he cannot...
transform back.
Damage, exactly.
But he can potentially just move back, like with the A-bomb, right? Just move to the second row at some point in the fight and maybe take over that. But still, it's just it's such a sketchy game.
This is a terrifying middle row to start beats Biling, though, isn't it, Mike? Look at that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna die during this fight, man. Like, it's just looking like, you know, I should have just kind of written my testimony as well. No, sorry, what the hell? The will. I should have written my will here and just kind of sent it somewhere, because I feel like this is just gonna take us all the way to death's door as well. This game is so long.
Oh, guard dogging. That's interesting. I mean, maybe he can't recruit anymore, so he's gonna guard dog for the next 9 turns, right?
Oh god, please do something offensive.
This is just absurd.
No way, this is ridiculous. Like, because he can just drop the accusation, get someone afflicted right now, and you can take this fucking game. Please. Afflict, please just do it. Do it, Stickyblad, you can make it.
I feel like I have been trapped in a limbo. I'm pretty sure both of us died last night and we're in hell. We're in some kind of ironic hell where they go, you like Darkest Dungeon? Here you go.
Yeah.
You're going to work forever, Mike.
That's where bad casters go.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's where bad casters go.
You guys get to watch it, which I'm sure is... I don't even know. This is like watching
dying
chess.
Here.
This is like weird chess.
Yeah, the fuckers going, seriously.
I've never seen a game played like this before, but I love it somehow. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
This is remarkable.
Oh, man, that's crazy, yeah.
This doesn't end too late. I would love to do a show match playing one of the first builds I ever made, which is a full healing build. Plague Doctor, Vestal, Crusader, and Flagellant. I do nothing but heal. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there was actually a build like that, right? We had the unkillable build, which was doing this, but it was killing people faster than this, though.
Yeah, I mean... Stickyblad is trying to do some kind of pacifist route, right?
Yeah.
For the first 6 turns, he did nothing but Abomination Transform.
Oh, he passes! He tilted Androfago out of this one, I feel. Seriously. This is the time when you just press the go button if you're Stickyblad. You go for this Hound's Harry. Now we have the HP, there is only
Look
one
at that
repose.
rejuvenation. Come on.
Jesus.
Really want to start being offensive. These rejuvenations, you've let them stack up so high.
I mean, that's risky because
these riposts. They allow you to eat these riposts. Start doing things. If you get 3 people afflicted, they act out enough.
Yeah.
By turn 12, the whole team would have been afflicted, right?
yeah, he's safe now. He just wins this now because he starts doing those attacks. He gets people afflicted. He gets those debuffs that are just going to come into play right now. And slowly but steadily, I think like Androfago is just done for. Very funny. Androfago probably tilted out of this world by the play of his opponent Stickyblad. He's showing the mettle. He takes over the game in the end. Like, such a grueling fight. 12 turns, and it probably doesn't. It will probably be another 8 at
It
least.
feels like 20, Mike, but you've got
Yeah.
to imagine right now.
Do you want to bet? Do you want to bet, like, on which turn this is gonna end?
Okay, not counting surrenders, I'd say 22.
Okay, I'm gonna say 20.
You,
So
you piece of heck.
whoever gets closer, then they win, right?
Another bit. Christ, let's go, pal.
Yeah. Chat, what do you think? When is the game going to end? Minute 20? Sorry, 10, 20, 10, 22.
This flagellant
Yeah.
might just die here, though, right? Pushing very low, and he's got none of his self-healing left here. This Vestal gonna have to start using all of her abilities now to start healing. Boom, Noel. We're saying that third crit. He's brand new, right? Right. Look at that stress.
Oh, pass as well, though. So that's kind of big for Androfago. Just kind of getting this out of the system, at least just removing this A-bomb stun allows him maybe to spread his wings next turn, perhaps. But holy crap, that's just...
With that in mind, Michael, look at where the Abomination is. Still in rank 1. All he can do now is chain stun. And realistically, this is not a board of people you want to be trying to chain stun. With one, I think that is one stun trinket though, the chain things.
Yeah, it is a stun trinket. Like, you can just disable the flagellant though, which is potentially a big deal, right? Because if you can just remove this guy from the fight, just, you know, disable those bleeds, you may just be able to take over eventually as well. Because there's going to be a punish potentially. Like, he probably just tries to kill the A-bomb right now. And obviously the A-bomb actually is taking heavy bleed and stress. So you might actually see this turnaround from Androfago. He turns it on. 10-13. And she might just be...
How remarkable is this game? Androfago, we think, is going to be able to leverage a stress victory simply out of the usage of punish.
Man, this is bonkers. This is absolute bonkers, man. I just don't believe we're seeing what we're seeing. It's just the craziest game I have seen in weeks. Again, like, those guys are delivering. You have to admit it. They are really
This is like
delivering.
Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, Mike.
Like, maybe this game just never ends. Maybe we just get stuck in this endless loop of healing.
Look at that. Did you see what he just did there?
Yeah.
I did not even know he had Hound's Harry on his bar. That is remarkable there. Yeah,
I would have expected him to...
You're not the only one, love.
Yeah, holy shit. Actually, this is big because he did a lot of stress damage here. This might be a pass from the Vestal. This is a move though, so not that big of a deal. Though this Vestal is in stun range for the aim-bomb though, so at some point you might see the stun just come down. However, you can see the aim-bomb actually taking such heavy punishment. That's surprising, but those heals still outweigh.
Right now, he's still in death's range. One punish, put him down to death, and also will outweigh that healing. If you get stunned as well, he won't be able to use absolution. Really, Androfago here, I think, could take it on turn 14. See, here we go.
Yeah, I think so. This is possible, actually. That might be a killing blow right now. I agree. So
170 stress there, Mike.
Yeah, he has absolution available, doesn't he, though? So he just drops it, yeah. And this, you know what it does? You know what it does?
Minus 25 stress. It makes this game last until turn 22.
Yeah, probably. So you win. You win, I lose, right? Congratulations.
That's the second bit you're going to have to be sending me, pal.
Yeah. Oh man, I do owe you a beer, don't... No, not yet. We don't know how it goes for our guys.
I mean, not quite. Look at that here. No. You want to be healing. You want to heal that. Bad.
Yeah. I mean, there is nothing that penetrates the guard, though, right? So this is okay. He can still stun this, though. I mean, this MAA is unable to do anything here because he can't use the retribution from the from the fourth row. So maybe this is still okay. But yeah, you have to believe that Stickyblad just switches kind of flips the switch at some point here and just goes really hard.
Mike, what game do you think we're watching, pal?
I mean, I think if Stickyblad just goes...
He's sticking to that healing there.
Yeah.
He's sticking to the healing. He's at enough stress now, though, where Androfago... Yeah, I'm not sure about that, pal.
Yeah.
Androfago starts bellowing. He might just die from the heart attack here.
Yeah, he can't bellow. He has no bellow on this MAA. This is a pure support MAA. This is like Riposte bot, not the bellow bot.
That move there is especially brutal then, isn't it?
Yeah. This is like a next gen bot though, guys. This is like the support bot rather than the bellow bot. I really like it, but at this point here, it's double rejection. Like this man is never gonna find true love here in this. And honestly, it's looking actually very dire. I feel like if Stickyblad just flips the switch completely, just goes super hard on stress, there might be very little Androfago can do to counterplay that. We are in the end game now.
That's gonna stun.
Oh no! So there's gonna be there's gonna be a longer fight. There's gonna be absolution probably again. My God.
Yeah, he's going for. I said this is probably the more veteran play if you are going to play stun. He does the smaller heal fight. Yeah.
Can you please take me out of this game?
I mean, Mike, come on. We're in hell. We've got to face up to this, all right?
Oh,
how do you think I feel? How some Polish man laughing at me, huh?
Yeah. Yes, it's just...
punished.
Oh, there's a crit for 16. This might be the deal breaker.
Look at the stress there.
Yeah.
198, Mike.
He has no absolution. There is nothing he can do to salvage this now. He just...
It's all over. He's taking
God.
He's going to take that riposte. He's going to take it all the way to Browntown. Come on, look at him. Boom.
Oh, dead. Easy clap. The stun is prevented by this, by the way. The stun doesn't come through.
Absolutely killer, Mike.
That probably might be the game-ending play for Androfago here. What a grueling fight, really.
Mike.
But yeah, the stun doesn't come down, guys. If you kill a character before the effects can come through, so if Riposte kills someone, the stress doesn't come through, the stun doesn't come through either. So any sort of debuffs are just invalidated.
We are going to see festering vapors.
Please do this.
More flash powder. What are you flash powder? Don't flash powder the festival. Why would you do that?
No, but he does.
I mean,
I am dying here, man. I thought this was gonna be like, we'll be at semi-final stage right now, but we are not. This is a crazy game.
It's the only character that has been unmolested the entire game. So quite frankly, you do want to be starting to brap out a stinky festering vapor, huh?
Yeah, you probably will.
He had chili for dinner, and by God, she wants to put it to good use, Mike. All she's doing right now is throwing like lavender and incense, delicious herbs. Unfortunately, Androfago doesn't really care about that, does he?
I mean, Stickyblad is full HP across the board. It will take another 16 tens to kill someone else now, I think. And, Androfago is heavily stressed right now. He's under heavy duress, you have to believe, right? So this might mean that at some point, those afflictions will indeed take over the match. But I would have never anticipated. We have to just make a rule for this, maybe to decide the game at turn 20 some way, like one way or another, like maybe the more characters standing or something.
I mean, Mike, to be honest, you've already considered this game as over, and quite frankly, this is the best of it. Stickyblad, I think, is still basically in it to win it here. The Abomination did not have much to offer as a mere stun bot, especially because he was facing riposting people and also people with really, really high base stun resist. So quite frankly, right now, boom, bingo, there we go, pass, bingo. Stickyblad right now, proving true to his name, is gooey as heck. You try and wipe it off the floor, it doesn't. Right now, his antiquarian is refusing to be wiped up. He's throwing down a stinky flash powder, gonna blind that guy, just throwing sand in the High Woman's eyes there. Debuff accepted, a little bit less accurate here. Maybe Stickyblad is finally setting up for this offensive push. Huh?
Yeah, this might be the time to flip the switch. He probably does this now. He just goes all in.
Every turn for 16 turns.
Yeah. Please just flip the switch, Stickyblad. This is the time. This is the moment for your guys to shine. House Harry, Festering Vapors, Zealous Accusation, all those things that you have. Obliterate Androfago now with what you have, or face the consequences of not doing so. Because otherwise, if you just
6 healing on him, there, you see that? That's only.
Oh God, that's brutal though. I mean, Still okay, unless... Okay, this is 60% death blow chance, by the way, so
No,
death blow res.
I reckon
So
it's not that, man. I reckon we're going to see a kill. I'm going to owe you a beer, pal.
this might be a kill. It's like very likely to be a kill. 40% it actually comes down to, 2v4.
Brutal if that was the kill that's done.
It's not. So you can activate the Houndmaster, and you salvage this again, because you can just heal the regions. Man, I'm just dying on my seat now.
No, listen, Mike, this isn't a big rejuvenation, though, is it? It's only going to heal him for about three.
Yeah, not much.
Where did all these heals go, Mike? What happened to them?
Flash Powder took it away, yeah.
What have they done, though, really? Nothing, right? What do you want? Festering Vapor heal, Festering Vapor heal, Festering Vapor heal. All across the board here, they're taking, a little bit of that pass again.
Second in a row. That's very big. That's actually very big. So, no, Regen Vapors, please.
You know what, Mike, I think you do that here.
I know. I'm just kind of praying he does something aggressive at some. I mean, he's playing this game correctly. I feel like this is the only way he wins this. Like if he plays this super slow. I don't like how slow it is.
I feel like a raw sex attack on Stickyblad's helmet.
Yeah, he's gonna heal this again. No, he actually goes for. Oh, that's dodged by the. Oh, that's very bad. Because I feel like he was banking on the fact that this does indeed stress this Highwayman and takes him out of, just forces the vessel to heal the Highwayman right now, which obviously wasn't the case here. He doesn't have to heal this because there's no Death's Door from the stress. This might be a Death Houndmaster now.
Right now, it's Flesh for Fantasy with this Stickyblad Houndmaster here right now.
Yeah.
One single hit and boom, bingo. Thank you, man. That is a dead doggy. You lick too early, the doggy gets sad, Mike.
Yeah.
Used the lick wounds very early on, ran out of this incredibly high rejuvenation amount. Now, every time he accepts it, one hit back on Death's Door. Stickyblad here. In this very defensive, it's turn 17 now. Very defensive game style has unfortunately not really pushed him forward. And to be honest, he's had quite a few act outs here. The man-at-arms passed twice in a row. Things like that. Stickyblad, I think we just have to say, didn't quite play quickly enough. He had lots of opportunities where he could have bit a single riposte with his Antiquarian. And right now, if he had 3 more turns, he could have won this, right?
Yeah, but now
his team are just ticked down by raw DOTs.
Yeah, no recourse now, though, as I like to say. Feels like he just heals this completely and he's just gonna be alright. He has to graze this, by the way, because otherwise the Crusader just does enough damage and stress to take the guy to 0 HP and to stress him to Death's Door. So this would have meant that, the immediate demise of this Highwayman.
I mean, Mike, to be honest, Stickyblad right now, maybe he's the kind of guy that's been listening to Eurobeat all night long, and it was a kind of sad song, but now gas. He's going to do nothing but throw down Festering Vapors. Maybe he can even get a killing blow on the Flagellant with the Festering Vapors. He can really do a lot of damage to all of these other guys anyway. On top of the heart attacks, they're going to be taking him down. We've seen Antiquarians clutch 1v4s, and I think if Stickyblad actually decides to play aggressively, finally, he can probably take it home, Mike.
Yeah, it's probably too late though. Right now it's just, I don't think he can take it anymore. Like, this looks like a solved game pretty much, with this Flagellant, able to just kind of probably redeem again, right? That's refused guard though, so I feel like still this looks like a game that I would call solved, because like feels like Androfago just got this in the end. Like, despite all those really lengthy turns that he was taking, like, feels like he's eventually just gonna persevere in this one.
Still got a redeem left, by the way.
Yeah, but he can just full heal this guy right now, so there's no threat from the Crusader anymore. You can just do whatever you want if you're Androfago. And this Crusader, by the way, is going to regen some HP, but can he indeed just drop the Zealous Accusation? He actually does that, so he goes really all in on this one. That might trigger some sort of a chain reaction, doesn't really do this.
Not quite.
No. Yet, and, you can just, actually, if you are Androfago here, you can just pick the Vestal, be safe, heal this guy, and just make sure you win this in the end. Because this, he just basically guarantees that, this Highwayman never really drops.
We see, thank God. Festering Vapors, I believe that might be the first time he's used that ability the entire game.
It is.
Brutal. It's one single attack here. Look at this now.
I'm actually keeping track of this. This is the first time he actually does this. So there's no repose on the Highwayman, but like, I feel like this is still Okay, I'm not gonna try to guess this. I feel like the flagellant alone can probably take this, still, despite not having the X tank. So maybe. No, I have no clue what's happening anymore, man. I'm just gonna kind of surrender here as a caster. I have no judgment over this game. I judge myself incapable of judging the game state. Seriously, that's just crazy.
Weak. If I wasn't eating a child-sized cookie right now, I would have mocked you.
My game sense died like 7 moves ago. Okay, by the way, this is a dead highwayman, isn't it? Because he has no more redeems left, so this Antiquarian actually just kills the highwayman, yeah.
Oh, or not.
Now, the Satyr is okay, the Satyr is gonna be fine for now. Maybe he gets a Vigorous as well, like he might just heal now, that would be funny, but no, he gets Hopeless. But this Antiquarian is almost guaranteed to kill the highwayman, proc a chain reaction on this MA, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. You have to. This is
not going to. He's not going to. He's taking the piss out of us, surely. Come on.
He could have killed the highwayman and killed the MAA at the same time. This is such a big misplay.
He's taking the piss. Come on. He's taking the piss. This guy knows what he's doing. The King Mima.
Because he takes a stun now from the vest, and suddenly, like this Antiquarian can't do anything.
He's gonna do. What?
No. He can't. That's the thing. Like he had a win in the this was potentially a won game for him if he had just used the vapors. You kill the highwayman, chain kill the MAA, and now this is just off the table. This just isn't gonna work. He basically squandered the biggest opening he had to ever win this game. He can't win this anymore, I think. He just threw the entire game away. Like, he threw 20 turns of work with the singular move there, not picking the Antiquarian, not taking this small risk, relatively small risk, you have to believe.
Mike,
which
I think he threw this game away every time for 20 turns.
Oh, that's an exaggeration. I feel he kind of had control. This was a semi-controlled game for him, but I feel like he's just so risk-averse that he's just gonna lose for that.
I failed to understand the idea of control. Control is nothing if it doesn't lead you to a desired outcome. That isn't control. That's you doing something stupid, basically. Obviously not to insult Stickyblad. It was fun as hell to watch it. If not a little bit kind of tiring. But boy oh boy, to see him not take the advantages he would have been given. That is just, it's really hurtful almost. I feel insulted.
No! No! You can just kill this! Oh man, no! What are you doing? You can just use the festering vapors, kill the fucking highwayman, take over the game. No!
Probably Stickyblad's bedtime, to be honest.
Oh man,
probably his bedtime. I mean, how many
that's cool. But that's a throw. He could have done this again now. He's just out of it now. This is done. Lord, this is over. I can't. I don't understand why he didn't take those kills when he could have, but now this just looks unsalvageable, really. This game has just gone out of the window for him. I don't understand that.
We are hopefully going to see a heal into a back away, into another heal, into a heal, into a heal, into a heal, into a death.
Yeah,
it will be fascinating gameplay, Mike.
You just won by the on the bet because this is 10-21. It will probably take a bit longer than this now, for this game to be solved.
Send me any of that fucking Polish swill though, mate. Send me a true beer. Send me a Guinness.
We have some decent Polish beer is actually mediocre most of the time. It's good mediocre. I have to say it's good mediocre. Like we have some decent beers.
Using punish. The punish was hitting the corpse, but what it felt like is he was punishing my testicles.
Yeah.
What a brutal game.
Absolutely brutal, I agree. I have no idea what's happening now. I mean, he has to hope for an act out, right? You just kind of hope this, someone kills themselves. They can capitalize on this with festering vapors. It's just too little too late. It's just so late now. No, it just does. I don't see this working. Like, he had an opening. He could have taken that, not even a risk, just a confident kill into a second kill that kind of would have maybe snowballed this game out of control, and maybe this Crusader would have lived then. Because he could have killed with a Seder later on, which he didn't do. And, this 2010 game, which could have been potentially won by him, just turned into a shit show.
Everybody, 2 rubber ducks, bingo. Yeah. Oh boy, Mike.
Whew. Yeah, that's insanity. This is just insanity. Now, by the way, the beer discussion, I disagree. Belgian beer is the best beer in the world. I've never had a better beer than the Belgian beers. There's just no competition at all. The flavor, the texture of that beer is just ridiculously good. So, no way. Czech beer is piss compared to Belgian beer. I love Czech beer, but seriously, Czech beer is piss compared to Belgian beer, guys. I know we're talking about
a 95% left blow resist, Mike.
That's gonna take a fucking while, is it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about beer. Let's talk about beer, sis.
Nah, fuck that noise, but I'm gonna listen to Billy Idol.
He's gonna go for it, I guess. Like, eventually he's just gonna get that kill. Like, there's no way to salvage this for Stickyblad. You know, he just runs into repose.
So odd. So odd.
Yeah.
I really don't think there is... I mean...
No way. No way he wins.
Androfago, I probably would have surrendered.
Yeah, he probably should, because this is just kind of taking a ridiculous amount of time right now. And it's been 1 hour 40 series. Can you believe this?
Well, I don't even believe it, but we've been living it.
Yeah, we are living this indeed. Yeah, he surrenders.
To this game.
He surrenders. GG, guys, this is over. Stickyblad eliminated, and Androfago advances to the second round after a grueling 2 hours almost of a match. Crazy